you do realize that you just shifted timelines, right? And you've done it again. And right now you've done it again. And again and again and again and again and again. You do realize that, right? There's a version of you that didn't choose to have a well-aligned collision with this transmission today. And there's a version of yourself that has found yourself here at this time and space, in this space and time, in this co-creation. Now, I'm hearing this is an interactive co-creation that we're having right now. Okay. And the reason I feel like I'm having to warm my hands up is because there's something around your hands being a portal, okay? And I'm seeing like your decision making being a huge portal for you. Always becoming aware of the power that you have literally within your hands to change your life at any given moment in time. There's a version of yourself that can exit this message right now. And there's a version of yourself that continues to remain in this space. I just want to bring that into awareness, okay? Because you need to be reminded of the magician that you are, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about it. So we have binary star here at the base, which talks about something that's always been transversing your path. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up with the astral travel messages that I anchored from, the astral plane. So what I saw was a woman trying to find her baby, and there were seven synchronicities leading up to this event where she had this hunch that the baby was in this car that was passing the salon that she was in. So salons represent changing, life-changing decisions, okay? And one that you're kind of being immersed in right now, okay? A life-changing decision that can completely alter, salons are the way that others see you as well, and also the way that you see yourself. So there does feel like a transformation or change that you're going through, okay? It doesn't feel like a little one either. Now, there was a split of timelines that I was observing in this collective stream, and there was one timeline where the mother felt really connected with her intuitive hunch that this baby was in the car and she needed to leave the salon right now. She needed to make a decision to align her life with a very specific trajectory that would lead her to the destiny, okay, and experience the continuum during her space-time travels that would align her with this destined outcome of her being reunited, okay, with her creation, all right? Something that she wanted to create for herself when it comes to her experience on Earth. She wanted to realign with, you can think about the baby as a sun card, right? It's like this nude baby that's riding on the horse. And this is about the core essence of who you are, to align with that core intention, okay, that you had coming into this lifetime. That's the way that I'm seeing it. And there were synchronicities all around her in the salon, right? So this is like angel numbers. This was like synchronicities in the music. There was things that messengers were saying that weren't even aware that they were messengers, but she was paying attention to it, right? Because she was looking at life through the lens of the oracle. And there was also another timeline that I witnessed where she didn't feel completely connected to her intuition. And even though the universe was speaking to her through everything around her, she kind of neglected that, or she was worried when it comes to aligning her actions towards this because of how she was going to be perceived if she left the salon, how she was going to be perceived if she did do this thing, but then, God forbid it was wrong, and then, she'd be seen as a failure or whatever this was, right? And yeah, there was like those two timelines. So the baby represents a new life, potential, innocence, and creation that's in a fragile state right now, but it is powerful, okay? And in this case, the baby was kind of kidnapped, to be honest with you, and this represents something that is precious, like a gift, an aspect of yourself, even a new beginning that feels hidden or withheld during this time, and it forces you to divert in order to reclaim it, okay? So it requires you to divert from, I'm hearing, a current timeline in order to enter a timeline where you can reclaim your version of self that trusts their intuition. And I'm hearing that timeline shift happens the moment that you no longer doubt yourself, the moment that even if the doubt is there, you still choose to move towards this thing with your action despite fear being present, okay? And I'm hearing that's what it means to become fearless. That's where you listen to fear less and you choose that love. And love is to become whole. It's to become unified with you being a spiritual being having a human experience and being able to listen to what you innately are, which is your true self and a spiritual being that I'm hearing speaks the language of frequency and vibration and is able to completely be in tune with how you're speaking to yourself through everything around you. You know, that's like the essence. You know what I'm seeing right now? I don't know why this is coming up, but it's like so being so far from base reality and how like Sims are becoming conscious of themselves in a game. And I'm seeing someone plant like loads of messages, like spray paint into the Sims house, like you are the creator of your reality, or like messages like you are the architect of your destiny, or just like messages where the Sims, you know, starts to wake up consciousness. This fractal of awareness becomes conscious of itself, and it can no longer kind of deny these messages that are literally written in front of its face. So this could be things that have been circulating back into your reality, like again and again. That's like another strong essence that's coming through. But yeah, 7 synchronicities are like the 7 virtues, right? It basically represents synchronistic elements where the universe is conspiring in your favor and it's kind of breadcrumbing you during this time on the path that you're getting back into alignment with, right? And it doesn't mean that these things are random, but they're being orchestrated into your experiences in order to initiate you into deeper phases of yourself where you could trust the signs that you're receiving. Okay. And the split between 2 timelines, I feel like it is you know, the heart of different realities. Okay. And these 2 different scenes are where you're able to trust, okay, the non-physical aspect of yourself, the mother, when it comes to following the thread of intuitive hits and using these signs as almost like reality markers, right, to kind of wake you up, for you to become lucid inside of the construct. And that leads you to the baby. It leads you to the creation that you had intended to experience for yourself. It leads you to literally birthing a new life into being, right? And I'm hearing in that moment, you birth a new version of yourself into being, simply because you are embodying a different version of yourself, the one that begins to trust themselves instead of doubt themselves, the one that chooses to follow the synchronicities and realize that it's in you taking action that clarity begins to reveal itself. Okay, I'm hearing the path begins to become clear as you walk down it. Okay, as you walk the path continues to unfold. Sometimes it's that I'm hearing reluctancy or procrastination, where you're doing a lot with the mind but you're not following it through with action, and that's where self-sabotage comes in. Okay, so I'm not sure who needs to hear that, but that's another essence. And that's connected to like timeline B, where you don't really feel the connection, so the baby remains hidden, and your infinite potential, what that looks like in this reality, you know, remains something that feels like it's super distant. So yeah, this can even represent like a missed reality marker where, you know, the universe is sending you messages on your path, but you're not receptive to those messages, right? And it's more than you just receiving these transmissions. It's about you actually becoming receptive to it. You become more receptive to everything around you, okay? And yeah, it represents something that exists that you can access, but only when you access this part of yourself. You access that timeline, I'm hearing, when you become the version of yourself that is embodying that new time, which is consciousness traveling to a new event within yourself. So this is your event, you know, it's a different event that's taking place in your life. I'm hearing unlocking a sequence of events, because the moment that I'm hearing you trust the first sign, the next will begin to reveal themselves, okay? That's what I'm seeing for you. It's like literally following a thread. So yeah, it's a scene that reveals the intuition being the gate between timelines. And this is about the sacred baby within you that's ready to be birthed into creation. The kidnappers represents like the forces of distraction, which could be again like your own fear or distortion pulling you away from that gift. And the 7 synchronicities is about the universe guiding you back to trusting yourself and trusting the unseen right now. And the split of scenes represents 2 realities that are always available for you, right? Are you going to choose fear or are you going to choose love? This is about reclaiming your ability to become a creator of your reality, one where disconnection keeps it out of reach, right? So yeah, intuition and reunification with it. allowing the hidden aspects of yourself to be revealed, which is, I'm hearing, the powerful creator that you are. This isn't about really changing who you are, it's just about discarding the belief systems that have convinced you otherwise, that you're anything other than an abundant being roaming this earth. Okay, so we have Fox P2. I love this card. Fox P2. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Fox P2 basically talks about communication that's always readily available for you. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's so on par with this message as well. It's actually uncanny. Let's go ahead and find it. Fox P2. Okay. Communication is key. Words are portals and keys into other dimensions of our being. It talks about just as water, okay, is something that can hold different kind of geometrical structures and architecture, so can your human vessel, right, which is made up of 80% water. So if you do not have the power to transform what you say into a language with meaning, it will only be sounds. These sounds are vibrations that heal, cure, and clean, but they also break, fracture, and separate. Why do human beings have the ability to speak? This talks about communicating with either ourselves or others in a conscious and harmonious way by acknowledging the majestic power of words and language. Thoughts and words influence our vibrational state. This is important in regards to what it is that you label yourself as you look in the mirror. This is the first expansive link of communication, which you will then project onto other people's lives. It is crucial to review the power of your words, but also your silences. So I'm hearing these are times where you stay silent when you should really speak up, right? And it talks about the shadow side of that communication, where your neutrality lies in the silence of the things we do not say, which are incubated inside. And in their light, words are the most evolutionary important tools that we possess as a species. It opens doors of communication on a scale that would never been seen in the history of the universe. So this is super interesting because in one of the timelines, she spoke up about this car, and everyone actually assisted her when it come to being aligned with this baby again. Like, she had so many forces that were assisting her in this reunification, and it was literally leading to her master matter in that moment. She realized that the physical realm was actually supporting her soul's intention, right? Completely, to get back into alignment with this thing. Like, the physical realm was reinforcing this to her because she was reinforcing this to herself. This was something that she wanted to reunify with, and she was willing to do whatever it took in order to do it. And there was also that other timeline where she was not really able to speak up, and she didn't have mastery over her mind. She didn't have mastery over her emotional state, right? She was in a very, very contracted state where she was completely just paralyzed by the fear of how would she be perceived if she said or did this thing, where she completely doubted her ability to kind of just do it. And that's the timeline in which she didn't connect with that baby. And it remained a circumstance with kidnap that she kind of robbed herself from, you know? So there could be like an element there for you in your life. And this is really stemming from the way that you speak to yourself. You know, that's almost like a very strong essence that's coming through. And with, you know, vapor trail, this represents like a historical timeline where, if it's not you, you know, this could be within your ancestral timeline, or even like, you know, previous past lifetimes where there's a strong essence around this being a repetitive pattern in history where authenticity has been something repressed, and it's disrupted the way that you move through this existence. And there could be something about you being called to take authentic action right now, like authentic action. Let's go ahead and pull an oracle message around this. Let's see. And this is about what feels authentic to the highest version of yourself, okay? Or highest expression of yourself. You have two. Regeneration and flexibility. Okay. This talks about endings or new beginnings in disguise, and regeneration talks about a sacred recalibration that's happening in your life where your life is filled with many phases. Flexibility is about a new phase that's calling you right now, and you being able to mend and I'm hearing repurpose yourself or your life in some way, right? There's something about remolding yourself or the way that you move through this existence. It's like you're gently shaping your experience with love and seeing that in order to release certain ways of being or certain belief systems, you must begin to realize that you have to accept that they're there. Okay, if you found yourself in a reality where you're not super fulfilled with let's just say not fulfilled, but let's say you're not super in alignment with a soul desire that you have, it's illuminating to you a portal of discovery in regards to the things that would feel in alignment. Okay, there's something around that reality being a stark contrast to the things that feel like they would be in alignment with you. And I'm hearing that's a gift within itself. It's a gift within itself because it becomes a turning point when you recognize and realize and honor the fact that there is something else that feels more aligned with you and who you are now. And being able to, I'm hearing, place yourself in a position where you're aligning with that trajectory. That's what I'm seeing. You're aligning with that trajectory in some way. Okay, let's go ahead and see. And we have imagine, right? Imagining your life and all the things that it could blossom into. Indecision. Again, you found yourself at a crossroads. Now, with indecision, there, again, this is about self doubt that comes through. We'll go ahead and read it, especially reversed. 8. It's the action that you take or the action that you do not take, each aligning you with a very specific outcome. So, which choice to make, right? This represents being at a crossroads. It coming up reversed is congratulations. This card reverse indicates newfound freedom from indecision. You've either recently made a decision or just about to make an important decision. And what do we talk about at the beginning? It's a life altering decision that is going to be made. Okay. So, this is an important time, so bring clarity of consciousness to your new direction. The fragmented and confused energy that you've been sending out is gone. Okay, so again, your communication has shifted. The way that you're intercommunicating with your higher self and your journey on earth and how you're able to embody that. Okay, how would your higher self navigate? Which just means how would your highest expression, think and feel about your current circumstance, and what aligned action would they take to shift it? So I'm hearing to shift the reality that they're aligned with. And it requires them to shift different ways of thinking and feeling. Okay. So yeah. And now you can bring new structure to your plans in life. You may not have known what to do in the past, but your soul has been trying to guide you all along. Open up to the potential of this time and create some clear and powerful intentions regarding your new choice. And let yourself move forward with purpose and personal power. So again, this talks about I release fear and move forward with courage and trust. I have the power to direct my own destiny now and always. We literally spoke about this just opening up. Like, you have the power to direct your destiny. And honestly, this is going to be a huge just confirmation reading for you, to really be able to step into that personal empowerment. This is like something that only you are going to be able to show up for yourself in regards to. No one else can show up for you in this way. No one else is going to be able to decode the intuitive hits that you're receiving right now. The universe is speaking to you and you alone. And it's speaking to you through everything and everyone around you, including being seated in this eternal cosmic network, being seated in your eternal nature right now. Come back into that awareness. Call your awareness back from timelines that you've been entangled with and versions of yourself that have doubted themselves. I'm hearing, take that version of yourself by the hand and embrace it. And walk it into a path where every version of yourself begins to trust themselves again. Every version of themselves begins to move in alignment with the calling of the soul and honor that. So, I'm going to love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. I know it's cryptic, but this is like an important message to get out right now. I feel like, again, when this aligns with you at this time and space, in this space and time, it's going to be exactly what you need to hear. Yeah, and personal reading details also down below. Also check out Otter Spirit if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. It's a small family owned business that handcraft these beautiful gemstones. $1 of the proceeds are donated towards otter sanctuaries as well. And I'm gonna go until next time. Bye.